Hello. Eva here with Jordan Travel Enterprise, your group event travel specialist. And today I have uh, two special guests, one in particular, but I just wanted to welcome you to Travel Tuesday. You know, it's been a while since I've been on, and I just wanted to come back and say hi. And I want to introduce you to my very special guest. So here we go. Hello, Jasmine.
Hello, Eva. How are you?
I am good. Well, Jasmine is a very special person. She is with Alma Waterways, and I'm going to have her briefly introduce herself.
Thanks, Eva. Hello to all of our viewers out there. Thank you so much for joining us today. As Eva mentioned, I'm Jasmine Dowse. I am a director of national accounts here with Alma Waterways. And I am excited to be here with you to talk all about the wonderful world of river cruising. One of my most favorite ways to travel as we explore, some of these destinations that there really is no better way to travel than by river. So we're going to talk a little bit about that and a very special cruise that we've been working on that
Yes.
Eva's demand and insight and recommendations allowed us to get here. So excited to be here with you today, Eva.
Okay. Well, thank you. And then I have another guest for you. So I'm going to bring him on. And this is my partner and lover and friend in my husband, Sam Johnson.
Hey everyone, how are you? And yes, I'm normally back of house. I don't do these, so give me some slack. But I am happy to be here with you also to support both Eva and to learn more from Jasmine about this special event that we're going to be putting together.
All right. And I want to welcome our online guests. Thank you for being here. Let me say, hey, Felicia, thank you for joining. And for the others that are here. So I wanted to, Sam and I have had an unusual year. And so I wanted to share that a little bit with you. In the last for the last three for the last year and a half, we've been on two river cruises, and we have been on two ocean cruises. And wanted to we went on the river cruises at first, and we just really, it was a first time experience for us, and we were really excited about the new experience and what it was like. So Sam, share a little bit about the our ocean cruises versus river cruise experience briefly.
Okay, very briefly, and let's put it in context. That year was obviously the pandemic year, and I am a retired engineer. So my back of house comes from being 46 years of doing engineering work for one of the top entertainment companies. I'm not going to say the name, but as a result, we moved right from that mode into the river cruising, first time experience. We've done a lot of ocean cruises, but the difference, and I say simply put, the fundamental difference is number one, size and attentive to experience. The on-ship experience, the off-ship experience, worlds apart. The two cruises we just did was France in July, and then again Amsterdam, France in July on the Rhine, and then we did the Rhone, southern France, in December, and then we followed it up with a Barcelona Mediterranean with my granddaughter and Eva on a Disney cruise, and then a Royal Caribbean cruise about 3 weeks ago to celebrate our 46th anniversary. I loved it, loved the Disney experience, but I gotta tell you, I long for the river cruise. Having been on that ship, those two cruises, and then doing a mega 4,000 people kind of a cruise, it is no comparison. The river cruising is for me.
All right, well, thank you for sharing that. And now, Jasmine, sometimes when we tell people about river cruising, they think, oh, it's this, a little bit older. I don't think, that's kind of for us. So you recently went on a cruise with you've river cruised because for the business, but you've had the river cruise experience with your mom. So share a little bit about that and what that was like.
Well, my mom is my travel buddy. So she goes with me everywhere, especially when we do our river cruises. She's great support to have there, during that time. But we just find that one thing that makes river cruising so special is the variety that it gives. And I think that really leans into when we say, and we define like what luxury is, right? And it's all about choices and customization and personalization, right? And so with Alma, it's all about the luxury of more choices. And so I think when you start to look at that multi-generational travel, for instance, like my mother and I, we have some very similar interests, but we also have some very different interests as well. And while we do tend to do most of the tours together, there's just some days we cannot make a compromise and decide on the same tour. But that's the beauty of it, right? That's what makes it okay. So when I want to go off and do the apricot tasting in Dernstein and my mom prefers to do that biking tour, then she can go do that while I feed my face. And then we can come back together during lunch and talk about how different our experiences was and kind of share our pictures. And it just creates this even more, well-rounded view of that city or destination that you've been visiting. And so it just really makes it so that that multi-generational travel, you have an opportunity to pick what fits you best, but still be on that same travel track as your mother, your father, sister, brother, grandmother, whatever the case may be, that you're traveling with. So I do find it perfect. And, with the choices and excursions, typically I would say the standard in river cruising is about one cruise included per day, right? So when you one tour that's included per day on the cruise. Well, when you think about Alma, what we do is provide, 2 to 3 choices. So now it's not just, hey, here's the free tour, take this one. It's more like, here's a few options. They're all included. And now you can make that decision without having to think about your budget or anything like that, right? You can actually base it off of your perspective and what it is that you want to do on your vacation.
That is so true. And to have the options. And then even, a lot of times you think about before signing up for something, and then you get there and you're like, oh, I changed my mind. One thing that we enjoy was like, we changed our mind and oh, no, that's not a problem. You can go on that tour. Well, we have a question from Gwen, and she says, what are the benefits of river cruises versus ocean cruising? Thanks, Gwen, for that question.
Oh, I mean, I can jump in. There's one of my favorite quotes that I love, and it says, oceans take you to countries, rivers take you through them. And I think that is one of the best comparisons when you look at ocean or river, because ocean is really all about the ship more so, even though the destination is definitely a highlight. Your ship has to be more so of that attraction. When with river cruise, the actual destination takes the primary space of what you see. And so you're just riding right through those towns and you're able to just get on and off. Yep. And so you don't have days at sea, right? You don't have all these numbers of people. You don't have to wait for long lines for embarkation and disembarkation. So, I mean, those are a couple I'll start off with, but Sam, I know you know some too.
Yeah, let me say this. I love the fact that I've never remembered in all the dozens of cruises we've taken where I can be on a river cruise somewhere in a port, and there's an option to do the truffle hunting, but then in the afternoon, I get to still go to the wine tasting. To me, that's it, because I don't want to miss those, and that I know that several times Eva would rather go to one, whether the bike tour or the walking, whereas I would rather go to the castles or the music thing or the wine tasting. That option, I don't find that too often. Usually, once you're going off the ship, you're gone. Then you come back in there. It's a different thing. Here, we've gone out, come back, and then gone out again on the river cruising, and that's special.
There's lots of freedom. We have another question from Jackie. She says, for someone who's nervous about the cost of a river cruise, how do you overcome that objection? Is it really worth it?
Oh,
I'll let Jasmine answer that one.
Yes, I will definitely take that. And I love that question because we tend to find that the price point for Alma waterways is a tad bit higher than some of our competitors. But you always want to break it down into the value of what it is that you're getting. And another quote I love to kind of say and share is that it's not what you pay to get on the ship, but it's what you pay to get off of the ship, right? And so with AMA, because we already include so many different choices, that price that you're basically paying to get on the ship is basically what you're paying for your vacation, right? The only thing additional from there would be maybe your gratuities, depending on how we have it set up, or maybe hard liquor, right? During those times where it's not included. But outside of that, I mean, everything's included. And so what you'll find is when you break it down on a day-by-day basis and you think about purchasing each of these entities ad hoc, they start to add up, right? Because on a river cruise, you have breakfast included, lunch included, and dinner included. And we're not saying just something you whip up at home, right? We're talking about restaurant style, top tier Epicurean experience, wine, beers, fine wines included, paired with your meals. So you take the price of that. What would that look like to do that 3 times a day for 7 days, right? Then you go into the tour opportunities. Well, you have choices. Sometimes you can only do 1 tour for the day because it's a full day. Some days you can do 2, some days you can do 3, right? Add up the cost. What do those tours look like when you're adding those up individually? Then you think about entertainment. How often after dinner are you going to go to an evening show? Well, if you were, how much would it cost to have that type of entertainment every single evening for 7 days, right? See, when you start breaking down the inclusions of the river cruise, I think the value of it tends to add up. And I think also one thing that we also want to look at is the level of service as well, right? This is truly a luxury experience to the point where, you know, you're leaving out of your stateroom to go get breakfast. You come back to your stateroom in order to grab your quiet box for your tour, and your bed is made up and your clothes have been folded. And, you know, that paperwork you were working on has been put to the side. That flower you received last night at the welcome cocktail is in a vase for you, right? They know your name. They know how you like your eggs to be prepared in the morning. So you think about the level of luxury that comes at that price point as well. And then once you compare that, I think you can see that it's definitely worth the value of what you're paying.
Definitely. And here's another comment. Gwen says, I like that quote. Jasmine, oceans take you to the destinations, the rivers take you through.
Yes.
And it's so true. And then even if you, let's say you don't feel like going on a tour, you're right there in the town. You just step out in the evening or, you know, during the day, and you can just explore, go and have a coffee, or, you know, you just have so many choices, and it's so relaxed compared to ocean cruises.
I agree. Definitely.
Let me see if we have any other questions. And I want to welcome Danita. She's been scribing for us. So thanks so much, Danita, for being here and for helping us today. Okay. So, and if you have questions out there, this is your time, your moment. Ask those questions, those burning questions that you have. And if you're a replay viewer, put replays rock in the comments and ask your questions. I'll be checking back. And if there's something that I can't answer, I'll be reaching out to Jasmine, and she'll answer those questions for you. So now I want to talk about what we're so excited about. We've been sharing it with our friends, and we have people who are interested and ready to go. And it's just been, it's amazing. It's called a Soulful. I'm just going to read it right off of the flyer. A Soulful Experience. A Soulful Epicurean Experience.
Yes.
And Jasmine, tell us about this. This is like the first time ever a river cruise that is specifically for that's focusing on heritage. And
absolutely,
Sam and I, we're just real excited about it and want you to share a little bit. And then before you start, while you're talking, I am going to put the information in the comments for you. And welcome Tisha to the broadcast. So take it away, Jasmine. Tell us about the Epicurean, the Soulful Epicurean Experience.
Absolutely. I mean, Eva, I know you know how excited it is to be able to put something like this together. And it has been a wonderful journey being here with Alma Waterways, having a listening ear, being able to share with them, where I think there could be a demand. And we have been able to put together something that I think really will expose more of our community to river cruising in a very unique way. And so, not all river cruises, of course, will operate this way, but this one's a fun. It actually came about. We started doing Latin touch cruises for our Latin partners, and they were a hit. And so we thought, this is a great way to do something very similar. And here we have a soulful Epicurean experience. And so, we think of Epicurean, it kind of has that focus on food and wine. And you think of soul, we think of music, soul music. And so that's kind of what we have wrapped together on this very special cruise. So the base of the cruise is our Colors of Provence itinerary. So Colors of Provence is a 7-night cruise that will either take you Arles to Lyon or Lyon to Arles or Avignon, depending on which cruise you're taking. And so that's the foundation and the base of the cruise. So we'll be utilizing some of the tours that are already built into this wonderful curated tour. But in addition to that, we have replaced some of the options with options that will give you a little bit more of a focus and an immersion into the Black history that is there within Southern France down the Rhone River. And so we're so excited to bring something like this. So what we've done is, so again, it's a 7-night itinerary, but we've added a 3-night Paris extension. So you got 7-night cruise, 3 nights at a hotel there in Paris. So a 10-night experience, so a full 10-night journey here. And because this is the first of its kind, we're coming out with an introductory rate, which is amazing. So we're actually starting this off at $44.99 per person. And that does actually include the full 10-night experience. So with the tours included, options throughout the day, your meals, your champagne, wine, and beer during your meals, your sip and sail cocktail hour, your live jazz experiences, and so forth, are all included in that rate. So the only thing additional that you would be arranging, for instance, Eva and Sam, would be like the airfare, right, for your clients, which, of course, we do provide here at Alma Waterways as well.
Okay. Well, doesn't that sound good? Sam, what do you got to say about that?
I'm not gonna say it sounds good. I'm ready. We're ready. We've already put our cabin down. So just so everyone knows, we're ready to go.
And we want you to come and sail with us. And I just put the link in the comments, and We're here to answer questions, concerns. I do have a question that came in.
Okay.
Are there kids on river cruises, Jasmine?
Well, that's a great question. I would say that we don't tend to get many of the younger children on board, but we do say, no one recommended under the age of 7. But we typically get maybe kind of that older teenage, maybe teenage years, like 13, 14-year-olds that tend to be traveling with their family. We actually have a partnership, one that we're very proud about, with Disney, Adventures by Disney. So they utilize our ships and our crew and provide this, Disney experience. So we tend to cater the younger crowd, to that type of product versus the Alma Waterways product. Now, for this particular cruise that we're doing, the Soulful Epicurean Experience kind of aligns in the same way, where we say no one under the age of 7 is recommended. But we may see some multi-generational families come on board where they want to, take those grandchildren out of the country for maybe the first time, explore the beauty of Paris and take this journey. I mean, so many Black artists and, entertainers made a mark there in France. And so we're going to be able to really explore that, which I think can be attractive to any age group, right? So it is something that we do encourage multi-generational travel. We just don't get very much of it Price points are still the same, no matter the age of that individual, but we do have some ships that offer triple occupancy and quadruple occupancy. And this particular vessel, we can do a triple occupancy in the suites, if that was something that your clients may be interested in, Eva.
Okay. Well, thank you, Dixie, for joining us. And she says Latin cruises, thumbs up. So if you want information on the Latin cruise, put that in the comments and I will get back to you. One of the things that you said, I lost my trend of thought. I forgot what I was going to say. Let me see if there's any questions. And Sam, if you have I know what I was going to say. When you talk about the difference between a river cruise and an ocean cruise, one of the things, the size and the intimacy on a river cruise is totally different. And Jasmine, how many staterooms are there on the ship?
So we're looking at about 80 staterooms that we have that can be booked into on this departure. And I will say that almost 50% of those staterooms have been claimed.
So what does that mean, you guys? If you're interested, then you need to click the link and get back in touch with us. And one wonderful thing is you think, oh, this is next year. Your deposit right now is only $400 to lock in your space.
Exactly.
And I know that, even for me, sometimes I can procrastinate and say, I'm thinking about it, or, oh yeah, I really want to do that, but I don't do anything. That's it. I don't want that to happen to you. Put your deposit down and lock in your space before it's gone. Because it's a first ever. So you don't want to miss out, and you don't want to just wait till later and then call me and say, oh, I want to go. And I have to say, oh, it's sold out.
It's sold out. Yes. And the ship that it's on is the Ama Christina. Mm-hmm. And so what's special about the Ama Christina is that, so Berlitz, which you guys may be familiar with the brand, kind of associated with like a language school there in like Paris and really internationally there in Europe in general. Well, they actually rate all the river cruise ships in Europe every other year. So the time that they did this, there were over 320 river cruise ships that they rated. And out of 320 river cruise ships, the number one ship was the Ama Christina, amongst many of our other ships that are great out there as well that made it into that top 15 list. But the Ama Christina was number one. And so we thought, what better way to roll out, such an epic, itinerary than to have it on the number one ship. And it basically is the ship named after co-owner Christine Karst. And so, beautiful vessel, double balconies. Definitely want to get one of those. We're going to be in the perfect weather. They want to be able to open up those balconies, get some fresh air, maybe even sit out there with a cup of coffee or a tea or a nice glass of cold drink. We're going to be doing some stuff on the sun deck. We're going to get a chance to really hang out in the towns and have some cultural experiences there as well. And then, of course, like I said, we're going to keep some of those staples that are a part of the standard itinerary also. So it'll give you a good idea of how Ama Waterways operates even outside of this very special experience. But we're excited about it. Space is going quickly, which I'm very excited about because the goal was to sell this out. And hopefully if we can sell it out, we can add another date or look at offering multiple dates in the future.
Gwen said Marcella has a rich Black heritage. Is there a chance for a tour in Marseille?
There is. That's actually on day one. So we're going to actually embark in Arles. We typically would embark in Avignon. But the reasoning we're going to embark in Arles is so that we can have the opportunity to go over to Marseille. So we do have a full day Black Heritage tour scheduled for Marseille. And then we'll come back to the ship, have some evening entertainment and sail. And then the next day is when we'll actually start there in Avignon. So yes, we are looking forward to that. And we'll be uncovering all of the wonderful history there in Marseille.
We have another question from the lovely Maxine. She says, how do you feel about traveling with a group rather than one or two people? Sam, you want to answer that and then turn it over to Jasmine?
Well, let me just say this. I think, Jasmine, correct me if I'm wrong, the maiden voyage was last year in July when we went on that cruise. It was one of the first sailings with the Ama Christina. And the thing about the group, Miss Maxine, is, we make the party. With the group, even under the guise of COVID, we were able to enjoy ourselves, have fun. We met new people, but it just expanded with your ability to be able to share experiences. And then actually, when there was times where you just wanted to get together and enjoy what you were living on the ship as going out, you always had that group with you. So there's no question. Solo would be great. I mean, you can certainly enjoy yourself, because I would think if you travel solo, you're the type of person who will meet people. But it makes it even the more special when you travel with a group.
Yep. That's what I was going to say. I was just going to say group travel is great because it just connects like-minded people right together. So group travel is tremendous, especially if you've got someone curating the experience for you, like Sam and Eva. It makes it even more special. But then there's also something special about just, traveling on your own. And that's something that is always encouraged as well. But if you can find a curated group travel, which we know are a little bit more scarce, right? Because there's certain dates that we're pushing everyone into. So if you can find one of those dates, get on those, any opportunity that you can. And then if you want to travel anytime outside of those dates, and we will take you. We would love to experience that with you. And I think there's a little bit more of individualism when you travel just with yourself and your companion. So if that's something that, a little bit more of a private experience, then that would, kind of be more of the direction to go. But I will say river is so intimate that it always kind of becomes more of a public experience, right? Because you become friends with those on board. I mean, you literally are sharing this space with 160 passengers, which you consistently see throughout the day. So you can go as a solo traveler or as a couple and meet a new group of people, or you can, of course, travel as a group. Either way, I think you're going to have a fantastic experience.
Absolutely.
Well, this is your last chance to ask a question while we're live. And in the meantime, I want to say, if you are interested in this cruise, to make sure that you reach out to us. And for those who don't know, we're JordanTravelEnterprise.com, and travelwitheva.com is our blog. And if you want to, and then on our website, if you go to JordanTravelEnterprise.com, upcoming trips, you can find out more information about this cruise. And in the comments, the link is there to click on it to get all the information, the dates, to find out the cities, to find out about the information about the Paris port, the hotel in Paris, and some of the things that you're going to experience when you sign up. So you can find that there. And then I had one other thing I wanted to share. Now, and I can't find it, but if you want to be added to our mailing list to keep up with things that we're doing, you don't have to put it in the comments, but direct message me and I'll add you to our mailing list. Let me see if there's any more questions before we go. I want to thank Jenny first. Jenny, let me put up her comment. Jenny is someone we met, is a lovely lady that we met on the first river cruise that we went on. And it just shows the camaraderie that you get to meet people. I didn't know Jenny before. We met and we've kept in touch. And she said, yes, it is intimate. You end up in a group, whether you're traveling solo or whether you're traveling by yourself. And that's Danita's comment. I want to thank Danita for scribing for us. And Jasmine, thank you so much for taking the time out of you. We had a little thing on Eastern and Pacific time, but thank you for taking the time to join us. We really appreciate it. Sam, do you have any closing comments?
No, I ditto what you said. Thank you so much, Jasmine, for taking the time to do this. And we are excited to be partnering with you all in AMA. And this is going to be a great thing. I think for everyone, we're looking forward to it, and hopefully we can share this with our friends so that we can continue the conversation beyond just today. So thank you again so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I always like to end our live with take time to be a blessing to someone else. Have a blessed day, whatever day, night, or evening, or even wherever you are in the world. Have a blessed day, and do take time to be a blessing for someone else. And thank you for everyone who joined in and supported the broadcast. Bye for now. Looking forward to seeing you on the rivers.
August 2023. Bye-bye.
Right.
We'll see you out there. Bye.